Hey there, fishing buddies. I know I said be a while before I get my boat and make some fishing videos again, but as you can see, I got the boat back from the Gulf side. I trail it back over here to the Atlantic side, and gonna have to take it out today to make sure everything's running right. I took it out of the water off the boat lift, but the canals had so much debris that I was really only able to go like as headway speed as possible, because there were boats, there was cars, metal roof, everything submerged into the water, so I had to take it super slow. And so I'm going to go over some of the damage that was done by the hurricane. Actually, pretty minor stuff. I'm pretty happy with how this boat survived or whatever. But I've got to also take it out in the water today and get it running and make sure everything's okay. So I did get a lot of scratches, but they do seem fairly surface. Not horrible. There was something else on this side that I didn't like the way it looked. I can't see where it is right now, but there was, right here. I know it doesn't look like much, it's only a little teeny tiny thing, but that's something concerning. And the rest actually looks okay. I think I have one other scratch in the back. So I had my mooring cover on, and all the snaps that were holding the mooring cover on end up coming off, 27 in all. And my docking lights broke off. Here's where most of the damage happened. I did lose my windshield that was here, and I had a compass that was here. And then I had the Lawrence hook 9, a triple shot, and then I had the Lawrence hook 2, 12-inch, and that was also the triple shot, and both of them are garbage. They will not power up, so I'm going to actually be taking off this bracket today. So there are my Lawrences that don't work. It's a 9-inch and that's a 12-inch. We do have some blemishes. Some of these cuts, there was some on right here. I think there's one in this seat. There's one here. And then there's one here. This one appears to be the worst one. And a little scuff on that. Now what happened when I did get the boat, this seat actually wasn't in the boat. It had flown off. And luckily the mooring cover in that seat, I was able to recover close to the boat. So do have also just a little bit in the sea deck. We got a couple little cuts and rips in the sea deck, but I think I could probably live with that. Oh, maybe another one right here. Now I'm looking at it. Maybe a scuff or two right there. So overall, we're gonna get this out running today. Make sure everything's working fine. I did clean it up. I took some cleaner to the seats or whatever. I power washed the outside, so it did not look like this, obviously, after the hurricane. It's much cleaner now. I didn't clean out here, so you can kind of see the water somehow even got in here. And this is where I had my bag with my GoPros and everything like that, but luckily I had them in the waterproof casings, so they survived. This side of the boat actually did really well. Nothing on this side. The engine appears fine. I took off the cowling. Doesn't appear to have any water intrusion in there. So far today's a fail. So I had everything hooked up, turned on the trailer lights, and my directional brake light is not working on one side. So I'm gonna have to fix that. I don't think it's the actual light. I think it's probably the ground. So I don't have my electrical tools here. So I'm gonna have to unhook the trailer and go back to my house and get my stuff. So the reason why I think it's a ground is, as you can see, all these other lights are working. So the operating lights are on. So the light is working. But I also have the hazards on right now, which should be blinking. So as you can see, it's blinking on this side, but not blinking over here. So what I did is just cut that green wire, pulled it back a little bit, got some new clean connecting on it, and then I just put some wrap on there and hit it with the lighter. And just like that. All right, back on the road. So I made up to Port Canaveral. It's kind of late, kind of 11 o'clock. But you know what, I don't really have to be anywhere except back for dinner. So I'll be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I'm just gonna get some frozen shrimp. So I came out here, it gets about 5 miles. And water kind of greenish gray, not very clear. Boat ran absolutely fantastic. No issues whatsoever. And as I was driving, just kind of came across some pretty decent bottom. I made a mark on it and I'll go back to it. But As you can see, there is some life down there, some pretty big life, we think. So I'm going to string up some rods and go back to these spots. I caught something that was chasing us on the way up. Looks like a bluefish. So there's a big bait pod right there. So these must be circling the bait pods. I'm going to release him. So this is my third fish. This looks like a croaker. This is going to make good bait. I put him in a live bucket. I lost a lot of my fishing spots, but luckily I had just a couple saved. So I'm going to be in 84 feet of water. See what I catch. So the bad news is, trolling motor stopped working. It's got to go on again. So there might be some issues with the wiring here. This is what would be a nice, size keeper lane. Now, only got one hand here. My GoPro battery, I never charge it, but I'd probably guesstimate this one about 13 inches or so. Normally I'd keep them, but I'm not really fishing for dinner tonight. So after catching about 25 lane snapper, I'm actually pretty happy. Catch a triggerfish. Again, this would be a keeper, but not keeping this one today. This one's only 14 inches. In the Atlantic here, they need to be 12. 15 is what size I usually like to keep them. They have better meat on them at 15. But so let's see. I've caught some black sea bass, a flounder, kind of like a sand perch, a grunt, and a remora, as well as that bluefish that I caught. And like I said, about 25 lane snapper. I'm going to get this guy back in the water. So here's a black sea bass. This one's not very big. This one's only about 13, 14 inches. I can't remember what keepers are. I think 15 might be keeper size. I'm switching things up to squid here. Like I said, just hasn't taken long whatsoever. That Goliath grouper, it's just about 3 feet, I would say 34 inches or so. Really hard to get a measurement on while he was in the water. That's the only fish so far that's been able to take drag. I've got my drag so tight that nothing's been able to run on me. So it just hit the bottom now. I've let it sit for just a few seconds, then I just kind of start reeling it in a little bit, and something just seems to go and just grab it. Haven't tried it. Oh, getting bites already. And got a fish on here. Feels light next to the Goliath grouper. So who knows what this one is. And it's a red, small one. Only about 14 inches or so. Gonna need some pliers. He's hooked pretty good. Just saw a remora. That might tell me that there's sharks coming in around. Not very long, but definitely a fatty. Going back to a piece of shrimp, and I'm sorry, doing some squid here. See if we catch something big with this one. My last squid, I don't have any more pinfish, so my last shot catching a big gag that I can keep. Doubt it's going to happen at this point. Got one on. Ooh, he feels pretty good. Chasing it, or more still. Not as big as I thought it would be.